Dear Form 3 students, we continue with our lessons, and today we have a special subject which is a continuation of the other parts we have already learned in Form 1, Form 2, and this is the part concerned in Form 3 about classification. We have learned about classification. You remember that if you review the meaning of classification is just the sorting of our living organism depending on their similarities and the differences. I hope that you remember these ideas. And also have been discussed, those living organisms can be grouped into 5 major groups which are known as kingdoms. The first group or the first kingdom is the kingdom Monera. The next is the kingdom Protoctista, the kingdom Fungi, the kingdom Plantae, and the kingdom Animalia. The kingdom Monera and kingdom Protoctista we have discussed in Form 1. We have in Form 1 as a part of this main topic, which is known as the classification. And the second part of those groups we have discussed in Form 2, we have discussed the kingdom Fungi, and also we discussed the party of the kingdom Plantae. The kingdom Plantae, which is our topic today to discuss, having a certain divisions in the second part of the hierarchy of the classification. The second part, which is known as the division, are divided into the following divisions in the kingdom Plantae. We have the division Bryophyta. We have learned in Form 2 as a part of coverage in Form 2 syllabus, and also we have learned about the Phenicillophyta, division Phenicillophyta, or the Pteridophyta, which includes the fern plants. Now, the next we discussed the continuation of the kingdom Plantae on the part of Form 3, which we're going to discuss 2 main divisions on this remained in this kingdom Plantae. Those divisions is the division Coniferophyta and the Angiospermophyta. Now, our major topic, as I've said, is that we're still continuing with the classification of living things. Now, the subtopic of our lesson is the kingdom Plantae. The kingdom Plantae. This is our subtopic, the kingdom Plantae. The kingdom Plantae. When we complete this subtopic, we have a learning objectives which are supposed to understand. The learning objectives includes that by the end, you as a student, after getting these ideas, you will be able to do the following. One, you should be able to explain the general and distinct features of the kingdom Plantae, and also you'll be able to explain the general and distinct features on the division Coniferophyta. The second objective is just to be able to describe to draw a structure of the penis. The penis. Should you see later on the structure of the penis, and also will be able to explain the advantages and disadvantages of the division Coniferophyta. What are the main advantages and what are the main disadvantages of this division Coniferophyta? And also next we should be able to explain the general distinct features of the division Angiospermophyta. Remember that I've said that in this subtopic kingdom Plantae, we have two divisions, the Coniferophyta and the Angiospermophyta. So you should be able to explain the distinct features and the general features of the division Angiospermophyta. And also you'll be able to outline the classes of the division Angiospermophyta. The division Angiospermophyta are divided into 2 main classes, so that you'll be able to distinguish those classes, to explain the general features and the distinct features why are those living organisms which are classified in this division can be categorized into those two classes. Also, be able to describe the structure of the representative plants on each classes in the Angiosperm Phyta division, which those classes includes the monocotyledon and the dicotyledon. Also, after knowing those classes and the features and the structures and the general features, so also you should be able to explain the advantages and disadvantages of the division Angiosperm Phyta. What are the advantages and what are the disadvantages of Angiosperm Phyta division? Now, let us see the introduction on this kingdom Plantae. The first thing, let us see the general features of the kingdom Plantae. When we say that the kingdom Plantae, what are the general features? It's better to make a review of those general features of the kingdom Plantae. One is that the plants are multicellular, means that they are eukaryotic organism. The plants are multicellular organism. The second, their cell have cell wall made of cellulose, means that the plant cell, they contain the cell wall which is made by cellulose. Also, plants have chlorophyll, and the green pigment or the green color which normally traps the light during photosynthesis. This is also a general features of the kingdom Plantae. Next is that the plants normally manufacture their own foods by the process of photosynthesis. That is, they are known as the autotrophs. Means that those plants, those organisms which are able to manufacture their own food. So plants, they are able to manufacture their own foods through the process of the photosynthesis. When the green color of the chlorophyll and the light are present, which is necessary conditions to enable the plants to manufacture their own foods, so that most of the plants in this group, they manufacture their own foods. Also, plants, they reproduce both sexually and asexually. Means that plants, they have tendency to reproduce sexually. Means that they use a male and a female gamete to produce a new plant. But sometimes these plants, they can be reproduced asexually. Means that just the part of the organism of various part of the plants can generate a new plant or a new offspring or a new organism. Yeah. What now? After knowing, after reviewing about the general features of the this kingdom Plantae, now let us see what are the economic importance. Are there any economic importance of the plants? Yes, the economic importance is there. Plants normally gives out fresh air needed by animals, means that we obtain oxygen from plants. So that one economic importance, that plants is the major producer of the fresh air known as oxygen. Another importance is that plants produce softwood for paper making. That is, the paper which you are using is made from the plant, so that those soft plants or the softwood plants, they normally used to produce the papers which are used in the offices and the other sectors. Also, another economic importance, that they are also producing hardwood, which are normally commonly used to make furnitures and the other building materials of other building purposes. So that's one of the economic importance. Another economic importance, the plants, they are used as a fuel. It means that we use charcoal, we use firewood from the plants. So those are economic importance can be also added here. Also, plants actually as wind breakers during strong winds. So the plants, they are good. They are good wind breakers. They are good wind breakers. That's why we are planting plants around our environment at home, so that to make sure that they just to break those strong winds and not causing some destructions in our home, like buildings. Also, another economic importance, they act as a cover crops to prevent the soil erosion. So some of the plants, when they are growing all over the land, it means that they cover the land so that they can be preventing the soil erosion. Another economic importance, they are used to make medicine. Some of the plants are very useful to make some medicine. For example, neem trees. In our national language, it's known as Marubaini, and the other Pyrethrum. Pyrethrum, those are examples of the plants which are normally useful for making the medicine. Another economic importance that they provide shelter and habitat for wild animals. So the wild animals also, they get shelter and habitat for their normal or for their daily life. Also, they act as a food for animal and human beings. From plants, we get foods. We as human beings and other plants, we depend on plant materials to get as our sources of food. Also, plants, they are most important for beautifying and decoration. That they beautify the environments, and also some of the plants, they are used as decorators or decorations in our houses or in our offices or in our gardens, so that they are used, they beautify the environment, and also they tend to decorate. Other economic importance, the plants, they are living things. After they become old and they die, it means that those materials that the leaves or the logs of the plants, they decompose, and then when they decompose, they deposit the nutrients in the soil so that they can provide the soil fertility. They retain the soil fertility. Another economic importance, that the forestry areas act as a carbon sinkers. Because photosynthesis, they need carbon dioxide as a raw material, so that when they are there's a good forestry or plants or plant somewhere, those carbon dioxide are produced in our premises, carbon dioxide which are produced by vehicles, so that the forest, they can act as a carbon sinker, because they absorb those carbon and not pollute the environment, because they use this carbon dioxide as the raw materials in photosynthesis processes. Also, forestry acts as a water catchment areas. Most of the sources of waters, the springs or the springs or whatever the case, or dams, they provide the water catchments. So that's another advantage which you should remember and mentioning. Also, the plants, they produce rubber for tires. There's a specific plants which are used rubber, which are converted industrially to produce tires which are used in vehicles or in other equipments or devices. Also, another economic importance of the plants, they are used in textile industry, e.g. cotton. The cottons, they are used in textile to make some clothes and other materials, so that they are useful. From plants we get materials which are used by our industries, like a textile industry, so that's also important. Some are used in cosmetic making and perfumes. Some of the plants are manufactured or they are converted into cosmetics. Some they are converted into perfumes, so that that's we can include also those. There's a lot of economic importance. Some are used as a stimulant. Some are used as a stimulant. For example, heroin and the caffeine, they are used as a stimulant, so that remember those economic importance of plants. So that you can see that plants, they contain a lot of importance. That's why we're discussing. So you have to understand this, a part of getting knowledge, so that you can get the useful of the plants. Now let us start to discuss on the first division of the kingdom plantae, that the party which should be taught in Form 3. This division is on the division Coniferophyta. Now, Coniferophyta, as I said that in this part, by the end of this lesson, you are supposed to understand, and then you will be able, the learning objective, by the end of this subject, you will be able to do the following. That you as a student, make sure that by the end of this lesson, that is, you'll be able to explain the distinct features, as I've said, and you'll be able to distinguish different plants which are included in conifer phyta, and also you'll be able to describe and to draw the structure of the pinus. Very important, the pinus. And also, you'll be able to explain what are the advantages of the conifer phytas and what are their disadvantages. Now, first of all, let us see the main features of the division conifer phyta. First, you have to know what is the conifer phyta. Conifer phyta is the division containing cone-bearing plants with needle-shaped leaves. These are the plants which they contain cone-bearing plants. Also, their leaves, they have the shape which is needle-like structures. And sometimes they're known as the gymnospermae or conifer phyta, which includes the conifers. The main features of these plants, the main features of plants in this division, that most of the plants, their seeds produced after fertilization are always naked. Yeah, that's you can find that their seeds which are produced, they are almost naked. It means that not protected by the ovary. Other seeds, you can see later on, other seeds are covered by the ovary, but the seeds on this division, conifer phyta plant, their seeds, they are naked. That's you have to differentiate those. The second main features, that their leaves remain green throughout the year. They are ever green throughout the year. Means that the needle-like with a thick waxy cuticle, they maintain that green color throughout the year. The shape of the leaves, that the needle-like shape, it means that they are able to maintain the green color throughout the year. And also, they are cone-bearing plants. I've said it before, that is the plants in this division, they are cone-bearing plants. Also, they contain xylem and the phloem. Those xylem, the main function of the xylem to transport the water, and also they have xylem and the phloem vessels, which is normally identified compared to those other plants which I've discussed before in other divisions like the bryophyta and phoenicillophyta. Also, the plants in this division, they are seed-bearing plants. They are seed-bearing plants. You've seen that, but they are seed, they are naked. They are seed, they are naked. They almost reproduce sexually. Sexual. They are produced sexual. The main reproduction is sexual because they have seeds, so that they reproduce sexually. Almost all are terrestrial. It means that most of these plants they are available in on the land. Means that terrestrial plants. They are well-defined system. They have well-defined system, and they have well-defined root system. They have well-defined stem system, and they have well-defined structure of the leaves. Those are the main features. Also, they practice secondary thickening. They practice secondary thickening, means that they have those vascular bundle, the vascular bundle which they are able to divide so that they can be conducting secondary thickening. Other plants, they don't conduct secondary thickening, so that these the main examples, the main features of the conifer phyta. Let us see one examples of the plants which are found in this division. You can find that we have the pine plants, the cedar plants, the juniper plants, the cypress plants, and the spruce plants. So that if you are asked to give them examples of the coniferous plants, those are the common examples. We have this pine, cedars, juniper, etc., etc. Let us see another. Let us see the distinguishing features and the characteristics of the organism in this division. We have to see the distinct features and the characteristics of organisms in this division. What distinct them and why are they classifying in this division? They are classifying this because they are mostly shrub and trees with the needle-shaped leaves. One of these characteristic feature, the plants which are found in this division, they mostly have a shrub or trees with a needle-like leaves. Also, their reproductive structure are cones. Their reproductive structure are known as cones. Another distinct features: the ovules are not enclosed inside the ovary wall. Other ovules in other plants, they are enclosed in the ovary wall, but the ovules in these plants, they are not enclosed inside the ovary. Also, the dominant generation is the sporophyte. That is the one which dominates the type of the generation which dominates is in the part which is known as the sporophyte. Refer to about the knowledge of sporophyte which we discussed on the bryophyte division, and in those fence plants. Also, another distinction features that they are widely distributed, means that they are commonly found in the large areas, particularly in a cold climate, so that they have a widely distributed, particularly in a cold climate. Now we've said that the main structure is the cones. Now let us see the structure of the cones. Observe this one. These are the structure of the cones. We have the female pine cone, and we have the male pine cone. So we try to observe the structure or the appearance. You can find that the structure of the cones in the female pine cone is larger compared to the male one, and they have the structures. We have the ovules. We have said that the ovule is not enclosed inside the ovary, and you have the mega sporophyte. Those are found in the female, and also we have the microsporophyte. We have the microsporangium, and we have the pollen glands. Those are the parts which are found in the male pine cones. So through the pollen glands and those ovules, they can be fertilized. Means that the ovule is the female gamete, while the pollen glands is the male gamete. So when they fuse, it means that they fertilize themselves through what you can say that this is a sexual means that two different gametes, the female and the male gametes, are combined together to form a new organism. That's why I said that most of their characteristic is just reproducing sexual. The smaller male, let us see the literature. The smaller male cones producing a yellowish powder called pollen. You have seen on the structure of those, so that the yellowish powder on the cone is known as the pollen. It contains the male sexy cell gamete. It contains is where you can find the male sexy gamete. The large female cone bears small seeds like structure called ovules. I've seen that the shape. That normally the female, they produce a small structure of the cones, and inside on those small side structure of they produce the ovules, and these ovules they contains the female gamete. So the female gamete is found within the ovules, which are found in a female cone, which is small in size compared to the male gamete, which is large in size. The male cone is comparable to flower, but it consists only of pollen producing structure, so that you can compare with the flower. but in this they differ slightly because they produce only pollen glands, different with the flower, the flowering plants, so that they are almost producing pollens instead of other materials which are found in a completely or a goodly structurally flowering plant. The pollen is formed on the leaf, like scales of the cones. So the pollens are produced on the leaf. The pollens, the male gamete, are produced on the leaf, or can be covered on the leaf. The female cone, you can compare this with a flower, but with the ovary forming parts only. Also, the female cone, you can compare with the flower, but the flower having many parts. The feature which is resembling the flower is the only ovules forming only, but the other parts of the flower cannot be found in the cone. So that those are slight differences. As you follow this learning, you can understand why these are classified in the cone Phelophyta, and why other plants are classified in the Angiospermophyta. Make a follow-up, and then by the end of the period, you will be getting a clear knowledge about these two divisions. Also, the ovules are attached to the leaf scale on the cones. Also, as you have seen the pollen glands, also the ovules also attached on the leaves of the plants. Yeah, we have said that by the end of this lesson, you as a student, you'll be able to outline or to name the advantages of conifers. So let us see a little bit about what are the advantages of these plants which are classified in the Conifers, which are known as the conifers, which are known as conifers. Conifers are relatively fast-growing trees. Yeah, one advantage, if you want to plant plants for commercial purposes, so I've seen that for timber, for paper, these conifers, they are growing relatively very fast, so that it's an advantage. Also, the conifers are grown in plantation and they produce useful timbers, soft wood. Those soft woods is the product which are produced from the conifers plants, so that one advantage that these are growing in the plantation, or you can plant in a large area, like Mufindi in Iringa, so they can find the soft woods which are planted in a large area, so that they can produce materials which are useful for our daily usage. Also, they are used extensively in the building industry, paper making and furniture making. They are also used for building and paper making. Yeah, the trunk of conifers grow very tall and straight, so that they are often used as telephone poles and electricity poles. So because they are going very tall, they are normally used as telephone poles and also electricity poles. That's another advantage. Let us see the merits or disadvantages of this conifers plant. Yeah, one may shelter dangerous organisms that are dangerous to human beings, like snakes and wasps. One disadvantage, apart of the advantages, these plants, they can produce harbors or habitat for dangerous organisms like snakes and wasps. I hope that you know snakes and wasps. Also, they do not produce fruits. Other plants, they produce fruits, but this kind of the plants, they cannot produce fruits. So these are the advantages. We want to harvest the plants as a plants, and also we should get some fruits, but they don't give us the fruits. Let us say, I thank you for your passion. Listen the lesson, and this part where we discuss the advantages and the disadvantages, is the end of this sub part of this kingdom, which knows the division coniferal fighter. So that please make sure that you make a review. What is the meaning of the coniferal fighter? We have said that the coniferal fighter are those plants normally which are producing the cones. And what are the main distinct features? We have seen the main distinct features, and we have seen the differences, distinction features. Why are these plants are classified in this group and not the other groups? So we have discussed, so make sure that you make a review. And we have seen that what are the advantages and what are the advantages of these plants. So make sure that you pass through those because you will come across with the questions, so that you will be able to give precisely ideas concerning on what you have been learning. Now, let us copy this exercise review. Exercise review. One, please, in the groups you have to discuss it and explain the general and the distinct features of the division coniferal fighter. As a group of 3, 4 with your dear friends, so that please make sure to make a strong discussion to review what is the general distinct features on the division coniferal fighter. Also, discuss, are you able to describe and draw the structure of peanuts? And also discuss in your groups what is the advantages of conifers having a needle-like leaves. You can remember, I told you something else. That is, what are the advantages? This will affect that these plants, they have a small leaf, which are their structure, they are in a needle-like structure. Why are they having those? There's a scientific reason, so that discuss and then give a vivid reasons. And also discuss the absence of flowers and fruits is the characteristic of which plants? We have listed something. The absence of flowers and the fruits. This is the behavior characteristic of which kind of the plants. And also mention, I'll let you to discuss, and then you'll be able to mention the 4 divisions of Kingdom Plantae. As a reviewing with just the flow, you can relate with the lesson which have been discussed. And finally, make sure that you discuss how the useful is division coniferal fighter to human being. What are the useful of the plants which are classified in this division coniferal fighter. Thank you very much. Let us see next period. Our next period we can cover the second part, which is supposed to be covered in Form 3 in this Kingdom Plantae, which is the Angiosperma fighter. Go and just read, find the materials on the internet, so that in the next period I'll give some contribution from your views about what you've been learning. Thank you very much. See you next video.
Lab Innovation Academy inatangaza nafasi za masomo ya Information Technology kwa ngazi ya certificate na diploma kwa wanafunzi waliomaliza kidato cha 4, kidato cha 6 na chuo NTA Level 3. Chuo kipo Kinondoni Vijana jijini Dar es Salaam. Zaidi ya kusoma, mwanafunzi anapewa nafasi ya kuanzisha mradi wa kiteknolojia pamoja na kupatiwa mentor wa kumwongoza. Pia tunamsaidia mwanafunzi kutafuta scholarships pale anapohitimu. Tupigie leo 0677 071 486 au 0744 100 au tembelea tovuti yetu www.nia.ac.tz.